Howdy folks, today we're going to be taking a look at BB-56 Bullet, which is the Beastbox butterfly. In case you're not aware, it's a play on words with one of Smashing Pumpkins' most well-known songs, Bullet with Butterfly Wings. 52Toys designers love naming their figures after songs, bands, and in some cases entire music genres. I'm going to talk about all of this figure's details, including its package contents, its features, I'll do a transformation demo, a box grade, and then I'll wrap it up with some final thoughts, so let's jump right in. First thing I'll point out is this package is a little unusual since it's actually a little bit larger than the standard Beastbox package. And even at that, it had to be partially folded up to fit inside, as you can see. This box has beautiful artwork of Bullet overlaid with a glossy spot coat and a dissected view of its internal mechanics. Capture induction antenna, designed by their in-house team X2R, beast mode, box mode, and so on and so forth. Just a quick note, Bullet was initially released in early 2023. It's been out for a while, but it's something I've been meaning to revisit. I put out a survey about this time last year asking about anyone's interest in 5 figures that I was considering for review. Bullet was one of them and is one of the last 2 from that survey that I still need to close the loop on. But anyway, inside the package you'll find instructions, a catalog, and interestingly enough, being a somewhat older release, it also comes with a box charger insert. I haven't seen one of these in a while. In case you don't know, they're little plastic cards that you fold in half, and what they do is they make it easier to eject figures out of their box charger. Why 52Toys opted to stop including these without at least offering some other way to make it easier to remove figures from the box chargers is beyond me. Bullet also has a character card with a bio on the back, which is something else that 52Toys appears to have stopped including with figures. At any rate, let's see what we have to say about this character. Apparently this little guy is really fast, with about average intelligence, defense, strength, and courage. Bullet is a funny guy. You could feel great joy by talking to it, but the prerequisite is that you can tolerate its fast and dense way of speaking. Talking about this cosmic ray burst, it damaged my receiver. You know, the receiver needs to be fixed and a wired connection configuration is far more reliable than a wireless one. See this wired model I got? It works great for me, don't you think? Patience is a virtue. So, I'm not exactly sure what that means, but it's pretty funny nonetheless. So yeah, I've always loved these character cards. It's just something quirky and interesting about the character. I hope they're not going to stop doing that because it's a fun little extra when I open up a new figure. And not to be missed, you also get a box charger with the figure, of course, and one other piece which we'll talk about with the figure details. It's a one-of-a-kind harness that's designed to work like a saddle for the way this figure is built. It goes without saying that displaying Bullet on a stand is just about the only option that you really have for this figure. The problem with this adapter is you really don't want to break it or lose it, because if you do, you'll never be able to replace it. Then you won't even be able to put Bullet on display. So handle this part with extra care, folks. As far as the figure itself, I mean, look at this thing. It is absolutely beautiful. It has awesome looking contour graphics. You got all these really deep purples and cyan contrasting colors, the Bug Faction symbol here on the back, and fairly unique to the Beastbox line, this gorgeous glittery spray paint effect. Obviously, this figure has a ton of limitations as far as action figures go, but to be truthful, that's not the only point. Bullet is also purely a showpiece, something that you collect because it's more of a beautiful interactive object than it is a toy. Another thing about Bullet that I never really understood is its retail price is a fair amount higher than other standard Beast boxes. A figure normally goes for around $28 these days, but Bullet and its counterpart Kite Moss sells for around $32 to $34 or somewhere in that range. I don't know if it's because their spray paint effect costs more to produce or that they're slightly larger than regular boxes or what. If you want either one of these, it will cost you a little extra. Anyway, moving on, it has a beautiful transparent purple connection part, and then there are these really weird cartoony googly eyes. I don't get it, but along with its rubbery antenna, I find it amusing. Bullet also has these little grabby legs so that you can actually support the character in a horizontal position. Its head has a little bit of articulation so you can get this guy to do some funny expressions, although for some reason you can't tilt the head all the way up in a flying pose. One other thing, its wings are attached with peg and pose connections, but not only that, they're specifically sized to attach to Unus's back, which I think is pretty damn cool. Alright, let's get this guy transformed. As far as more recent Beast boxes, this is one of the easier ones. We're going to start by taking the tail and folding it straight up like so. Then we'll wrap the legs around its lower half. These lower wingtips are going to fold inside that cavity. These exterior sections are going to fold forward like that. A 90-degree angle is what you're going for, so you don't want to force it any further. Then those pieces are going to fold up like so. Next, you're basically going to collapse the wings inward. We'll take the center section and push it in. Then these extensions will push in like so, and they just snap into place. One thing I forgot to do when I started this review is the tip end of the upper wing extension does have this little piece that pops out here. It's not critical to the insect form, but it's a decorative piece that adds a little bit more shape and detail to the figure. One way or the other, it needs to slide up inside that piece. Then this piece gets folded down, same on the other side. Now this piece is going to slide over and it'll lock into place with a snap. You're going to fold this whole assembly up and it'll lock into place with those tabs. These pieces fold up like so and are going to connect with these interlocking teeth. You'll need to make sure the antennae are tucked in. Then these sections will fold up like so, and you're good to go. So inasmuch as this beautiful paint job and contour graphics make for a very nice, beautiful looking butterfly, the box mode is more or less a cocoon of the butterfly. I think it makes a pretty nice looking box too. And of course, it fits right into its box charger. Now it's time to give this bullet with butterfly wings a box grade. This is my rating system of 5 points in 6 categories for a total score of anything between 0 to 30 points. I got a kick out of Bullet's character bio. Its design is funny, it's quirky, it's a little bit weird, and though its head articulation is a bit limited, it's surprisingly effective at conveying a lot of amusing expressions. 4 out of 5. Bullet is not an action figure, though it does have a bit of interoperability with other figures, and its display ability is the biggest feature of all. 3 out of 5. Transformation is really simple and intuitive. To my memory, it's only the second Beastbox to use sliders as part of its transformation, the other being the original Jungle Cat mold. That type of mechanical component really didn't work great for the cat, but for this use case it works exceedingly well. And, on theme with this character, the box mode doubles as its cocoon. 5 out of 5. Articulation is exactly what it needs to be for Bullet. It has sturdy little grabby legs, it can emulate a butterfly's wing flapping well, and is fairly expressive with its limited head movement. Although I would have preferred the head to be able to tilt all the way up. 3 out of 5. Bullet is fairly well built. Nothing feels floppy or loose or cheap, and its paint and graphics are spot on. Although there are other Beast Boxes around that are made with nicer plastic. 4 out of 5. Bullet is a great display piece. It's a good thing 52Toys had the foresight to give it removable wings, because beyond that, there's almost nothing else you can do with this figure. But man, is it a beautiful looking figure. 2 out of 5. And that brings the box grade total to 21 out of 30. Bullet is more in line with the type of figure that I prefer. Features and gimmicks are great, but for this line I prefer interesting display pieces over action figures. It also goes to show how good 52Toys is at getting a lot of mileage out of a fairly simple concept. With a creature like this, a box mode is a pretty good metaphor for a butterfly emerging from its cocoon. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching this video. Please give it a like, share it, leave a comment, or any of the usual social stuff to help me keep this channel alive. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.